everybody around this league thinks Jalen Hurts isn't the long-term answer. So what the heck are they doing? It's a good question. I don't know.
All right, there's John. We await Barrett. What's happening, McMullen?
What's up, John?
Guys, pop you up here. I was on a different screen. How are you?
You getting ready for Deshaun Watson in Philly?
Yeah, I see that, Harry. Look
Yeah.
at you with the background. Yeah, Peter King won't let this thing die. I think it's pretty amazing. Look, everybody who talks about this, and this is why I kind of say, what the heck is going on with the Eagles? Because even these goopy 2022 mock drafts, even if the Eagles don't get a veteran quarterback, they all have them taking a quarterback in the top 10. So everybody around this league thinks Jalen Hurts isn't the long-term answer. So what the heck are they doing? It's a good question. I don't know.
Well, what do you think they are doing? Like, I get asking that question, and it's not rhetorical by any means, but what do you think is the line of thinking here, especially if, let's just assume that all those mocks and everything are true and that they really would draft a quarterback high next year? What is this year about? Just getting to that year?
Yeah, I think it was getting through an ugly divorce, and they're a little spooked, and they don't want to go through it again, and they want to take a breath and then get back to it a year from now. I really think that. The Carson Wentz divorce turned out to be so ugly, I think it had an effect on the Eagles' decision-making, and that's not a good thing, by the way.
Well, the divorce didn't stop there with Carson Wentz. I mean, you had a defensive coordinator chose to retire rather than come back. The head coach is gone. Yeah.
So how ugly it was, and they didn't want to create more controversy by, say, drafting Justin Fields and getting right into the muck again. I can't think of any other reason, because everybody I talked to, I counted it up, guys. I don't know if you saw 15 different personnel evaluators, on the record, off the record. On the record, guys like Daniel Jeremiah, Blake Bedingfield, Matt Manicherny, who was a scout in this league. We all asked them the same question. If you evaluate, I put Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson aside because the Eagles weren't going to be able to get him. And I also put Mac Jones aside because I didn't think the Eagles were interested in him. So it was Jalen Hurts against Justin Fields and Trey Lance. Now, Trey Lance, turns out they wouldn't have had an opportunity anyway. But every single one of them, 15-0, said it wasn't close. Ceiling as a player. Said it wasn't close. So what are the Eagles seeing that these guys aren't seeing? My answer is nothing. They know that. They're spooked.
Wow, that's just amazing, because didn't we see this? Now, people are going to say, well, it worked. They won a Super Bowl, but look where we are now. It just feels like this is a football organization that's running things from a who to hire standpoint, like a baseball team, right? Where you have Bobby Valentine one year and then you need to reverse it and bring the other guy in. And I'm not saying that there's any personality major differences, because I don't know with Sirianni and Doug Peterson, but it's bleeding into other stuff as well, where it seems like Chip Kelly, wasn't that the whole thing about hiring Doug Peterson, was to move away and hire the anti-Chip? So now it's bleeding into not just coaches, but personnel as well. And I don't know. I don't want to make some big negative widespread statement about the team, but I just wonder if, I wonder how that goes away. I want, how much time do you need to heal, John McMullen?
1 year, because we're going to be talking this time next year, and the Eagles are going to have a new quarterback. I mean, what can Jalen Hurts do?
Nothing, it looks like, right?
To earn this job.
It doesn't
you're talking about
make the playoffs.
But even so, okay, let's say we talked about this on Birds 365 this morning. If Deshaun Watson becomes available, everything's cleared up, you're going to talk yourself by making the playoffs, going, well, it wouldn't be 9-7, 9-8 now, and say, well, this kid's better than Deshaun Watson. You're going to talk yourself into that?
I think it reinforces the need to make the trade because now you can convince yourself and everyone else, hey, you bring in Watson, that 9-8 or 10-7. Remember, the extra game team is a Super Bowl winner with Deshaun as opposed to where they were. No, Hurts is in a lose-lose scenario. So let's go back with the benefit of hindsight, 2 years, right? And now we look back for a full 3-year period, both of you guys. I mean, look at how this is a 60 for 60. How the drafting of Jalen Hurts forced away Carson Wentz only to open up the door to replace Hurts. Like, that doesn't make any sense on the surface. If you had somebody who didn't know anything about the Eagles and you explained that to them, their first response would be like, that's not possible.
Yeah. But, well, I will say this. It made some sense because of Carson's injury history to say, okay, we need a cost-effective backup for 4 years. So Carson didn't fall off the rails. And I think it'd be great to have a cost-effective guy you trust a little bit that doesn't obviously some of these veteran backup quarterbacks get paid significant money. I think if you go to Green Bay, now that, especially if the Packers extend Aaron Rodgers and say, you're our guy for the next 3 years, that draft pick of Jordan Love is completely meaningless.
Right.
He never sees the field. You got to trade him. His value won't go up because he's never seen the field. So that's even worse. But if Carson didn't go off the rails, I don't think it would look as bad. Now that he went off the rails, it looks terrible because a lot of people are going to put 2 and 2 together and say that's the reason. It's one of the reasons, but there's plenty of other reasons. And then you're talking about a team that values the quarterback position so much, and you're going to try to talk yourself into Hurts is better than Watson, Hurts is better than Spencer Rattler, Hurts is better than Sam Howell. They already talked themselves into Hurts was better than Justin Fields.
Well, I mean, Denver passed on Fields too. And a lot are saying that they did that because they are going to make the move for Aaron Rodgers. And maybe the Eagles passed on him knowing that they're going to get this guy.
Possible.
You know?
That would make more sense to me.
Yeah.
But
I can live with that.
Yeah, I think everybody can from a football standpoint. Now, the other stuff, I know you guys had somebody on from Houston. The legal stuff, yeah, that's real. I mean, how do you get over that with your fan base, especially in the modern environment we're in? They're going to take a lot of PR hits with Deshaun Watson, no matter how it ends up.
Let's assume that it's June 2nd. Who gets dealt first, Rodgers or Watson?
Rodgers, because
that's the first Rodgers answer we got all day.
Wow, how about that?
Well, who wants Deshaun with these allegations hanging over his head?
Okay, let me paint you a picture real quick. The Philadelphia Eagles are able to make a trade for Deshaun Watson. The Philadelphia Eagles are preparing this year to do absolutely nothing. They also know that if they were to bring in Watson, who plays 17 games, the ramp up of expectations, and I'll admit, would be completely unfair for the Philadelphia Eagles this year. They would actually benefit John McMullen if Watson sat out half, if not the entire season, and still made a trade for him 50 cents on the dollar. Your thoughts?
Well, I would say, how is he going to play 17 games? I mean,
he won't. That's the deal for the Eagles, is that he'd be out 8 or maybe the entire
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, best case scenario to me would be a 6-game suspension based on Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, can you get 50 cents on the dollar, and can you sell your fan base on that? I don't think the Eagles can do that right now. I don't think anybody could do it. I think everybody in this league has to wait until the legal stuff is cleared up on Deshaun Watson. You have to.
Now, we've got 30 seconds before we hit that sweet 10-minute mark of overtime where we normally say goodbye. 20 now. Barrett is not going to be here.
He's not going to be here.
I don't feel like going OOT for Barrett. No. We got some gems from McMullen, Harry.
I have a doctor's appointment anyway at 2 o'clock.
All right. Well, then let's say goodbye to everyone. Thank you to John McMullen, who stepped in after a busy Birds 365. But guess what? You get Birds 365 tomorrow at 8 a.m. with Mac. The
Christian Rogers, by the way, stopping by.
Oh, wow.
beautiful. We also
Yeah.
have Frank Reich on later today with Dan Cilio. So there's
Yeah.
no reason to leave the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Subscribe, like, and share. Not share, huh? We'll see you tomorrow.
Not Sonny and Cher.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.